Today we're going to show you how to rewind the Pullstart cord in a Briggs and Stratton Quantum XM50 engine, but it should be similar for most Quantum Briggs and Stratton engines. The tools that you'll need for this job are a flathead screwdriver, needle nose pliers, socket wrench with an 8 and 10mm fitting. So first thing we should do is unclip this cover. Do that by using a flathead screwdriver. Put it into the clips and just push them out. There are 3 of them we need to undo. The last one should just remove easily. Then we need to remove 3 screws using a socket wrench, and it's a size 8 socket for that. Then we need to remove another screw from the front there, this one here. Then we need to remove this bolt in the back here, and that's a 10mm socket to remove that. So once you've removed the bolt from the back of the engine, just be mindful that it has a washer and a spacer. Ensure that you don't lose those, because you'll need them when you reassemble the mower. Now that all the bolts are out, we need to remove the fuel hose from the fuel tank. If you do have a switch, it's great to turn that off so none of the fuel escapes. If you don't, like we don't, you'll just have to pull off the clip, and if the tank is full of petrol, we'll quickly have to move it and drain it all out. So just remove the clip like so. And then pull the hose off, and then the top will just remove. After the fuel tank's removed, there are a few more bolts that we have to undo. One of them's here, so that we can remove the oil. That's a 8mm socket. And just loosen that. Now you can pull the oil out, the oil cap out. It's nice to have some paper, something that you can jam in there to stop any dirt getting into where the oil's kept. Then we need to remove a few more bolts. 2 at the back here, and then 2 at the front. And these are all size 10 sockets. Once each of those bolts are removed, you can then pull the Pullstart off. There we have it. Once you've got the Pullstart cord off, just flip it over. To rewind this cord, it's easiest if you pull the cord out as far as it'll go, so that it lines up with this hole here. Then you want to spray the outside with WD-40 just to lubricate it all, so the cord doesn't get caught on anything, it moves nicely. Also, just have a look around the edge to see if there are any sharp objects that could cut the cord while you're winding it up. So what you need to do is then get your screwdriver and pull the cord up, like so. Then you just take it and wind it up. Wind it up about 4 times to start with. So that's 1. There we go, that's 4. You don't want to wind it up more than that unless you need to, because otherwise you can damage the spring. And that's another job to repair. So I'll pull the cord out and let it go. Hopefully it'll wind back in nicely. So you can see the length of the cord there. It probably needs to be taken round 1 more time. So if you look closely, you'll see that it is a tight spot where the cord has to travel when you're winding it, but it does wind. That's just why you want to have a look and make sure that there's not any sharp edges that could damage the cord. Now you can see the cord's working fine. Moves all the way back in. Now all we need to do is sit this back on top and then put all the bolts back in again to secure it. Next we need to put the oil tube back on, remove the paper towel, plug it in, and line it up with the screw on Then you can set the fuel tank back on. Don't forget to put the screw in the front back in. So once you're doing up this back screw to connect the fuel tank to the engine, there is that spacer, if you remember me mentioning at the start. That needs to slide in behind here, if that's clear in the video. And then the screw slots through both of those holes through the spacer, and you can then do it in. Can be a bit tricky. Also, don't forget to reconnect the fuel hose, otherwise you're going to have some problems with your mower. It's not getting fuel. Just push the hose back on and then move the clamp. Now all that we need to do is put on this top cover and we're finished. All done.